Alright, guys, we are back with the Liar Society, and we are on Chapter 10, Jack. At home, Dad doesn't seem surprised to see his lawyer, Lou Steinman, standing in our foyer with Chief Roberts. But I am. Lou is wearing a crisp navy suit that would look reasonable if he weren't standing next to Dad. He has on one of those shirts where the collar is white and everything else is light blue. And Chief Robert's suit is basically pajamas, brown and pleated, hanging off of him. "Thanks for taking the time to answer a few questions and helping us out with our investigation," he says. "There's only one investigation Chief Roberts could be talking about right now. What does he think Dad knows about the stolen money?" "No problem at all." Dad doesn't miss a beat. "I'm not sure how Elizabeth and I can help, but we're trying. But we're glad to try. Elizabeth?" Dad never calls Mom by her real name. "She's Bitsy, Buzzy, or Betsy." A second later, Mom's flat shoes click-clack across the wood floor, and she walks over to me with concern all over her face and pulls me into a hug. She smells like honey. I want to hug her back, but I don't. Dad is watching. "Go up to your room and start your homework." Mom pats my back. "This won't take long." She doesn't want me to listen. I wait at the top of the staircase, hidden behind the wall, while the adults settle into the dining room. The sound of the rustling papers is my cue to sneak back to the landing and crouch down low to the floor where they can't see me, but I can still hear them. Chief Roberts doesn't waste time on small talk. "When was the last time that you had contact with your brother, Kingman Yates Hunt the Fifth?" "Wait, what? Why is Chief Roberts asking about Uncle Yates? Uncle Yates isn't allowed to contact anyone from our family or from his past except Dad. He can't even send birthday presents. But Chief Roberts showing up asking questions about him is weird because a while ago, whenever I was home by myself, we got a letter from Uncle Yates addressed to Charles Hunt. The messenger guy who gave me the letter said something strange whenever he handed it to me. 'I trust you will keep this a secret. I trust you.' I knew the note wasn't for me, but technically I'm Charles Hunt too, so I took the letter. I couldn't help myself, especially after I saw T is greater than T over T is greater than T, shorthand for the last heir oath, uh, scrawl, scrawled on the envelope. What else was I supposed to do when no one tells me anything? Except I read the letter and it basically said nothing. 12 years ago, Dad says, his voice clapped. Chief Roberts taps his pen. "Do you consider your brother an enemy?" I hold my breath. "I don't consider my brother at all," Dad says, deadpan. "I don't know what Uncle Yates did wrong, but I know he did something bad. Dad had to take over the company and make things right. Uncle Yates is not a good person. Ford said once that I get into last air and take the oath, he'll tell me what Dad told him. I begged Ford to spill it right then, and I swore that I wouldn't tell anyone, but he made a big deal about how he couldn't share details because he's taken the oath, and how I just had to wait a little longer. So for now, all I know is that Uncle Yates used to be the CEO of Hunt International, and then one day he wasn't in the company or the family anymore, and he's never allowed back." "You don't get along?" Chief Roberts asks. "Is this a business or personal conflict?" Dad clears his throat. "There was a settlement arranged related to the business. I can't share details, but his legal team contacted mine not that long ago to revise the agreement." "They did when? Huh?" "After Uncle Yates sent the letter." "Why now?" Chief Roberts perked up a little bit. "Does he need money?" "No," Dad says. "He has plenty of that. Yatesy is just a menace, and he—" "What I think Charles means," Mom's jumps in, voice soft, words careful, "is that Yates can be very charming. He has no trouble convincing people to believe what he says or to do what he wants. Mom's description of Uncle Yates surprises me. He's a loner on the run. I wouldn't have guessed he was popular or likable. He's not in our family." Dad says, "Just be sure that you know who you're talking to before you go around asking questions about him." My eyes bug out. I can feel my heart beating all over my body now. "Is Uncle Yates a suspect?" "Understood," Chief Roberts says. "Since the stolen money was a gift from your grandfather, we're also looking to speak with anyone who might have had a grudge against your family. The lodges." "I don't see how you're ever going to solve the case that way." Dad's tone changes. His voice is rising and slightly irritated. "We're looking at all possible leads," Chief Roberts says. "No stone left unturned. If you think of anyone, please let us know. and whenever the room goes quiet, I'm not sure what's happening until I realize the meeting is over. I sprint up the stairs, 2 steps at a time, heart pounding in my chest, and running into my room. I lock the door, head over to my closet, and lift the rubber mat that protects the original wooden floor that looks like a decorative puzzle. I wiggle a large trapezoid piece around it until it pops out, and then I pull out the letter from Uncle Yates. I'm not a thief. I get that I stole, but I'm done. I've watched Prez go from a person who cheated to a cheater. I get making a mistake, but making the same mistake on purpose is a choice. I don't want to be a person who makes bad choices and does bad things because eventually people get hurt, but I still stole the letter. Sometimes I can't stop myself, and that's a Hunt thing too. I unfold the paper and read the handwritten note once again, looking for answers and secrets. Charlie, when I signed the agreement with Mainlanders Oil, I did not have all the information about my situation. I recently acquired a more complete understanding of what happened in my absence through a public source. In light of these new details, I feel like I need to be able to contact certain parties who are currently off limits to me. At this time, I've never broken the agreement with Mainlanders Oil. I know that what you did and what you're likely still doing, and I have not interfered with your mission to restore Kingman's work at Near Lion Point. Although my thoughts on the subject haven't changed, I've kept my word to protect the Hunt legacy, and I am comfortable in my life and I do not wish to rock the boat. However, I do hope that you will consider an adjustment in terms of the original agreement so that I can contact Lakeview Revenge. I've included more details on the back. In trust, Yatesy. Except whenever I turn over the letter, the back page is blank, like you forgot to add the details. I've never heard of Mainlanders Oil or Pit, Near Line Pit, or Lakeview Revenge. Lakeview is weird though. Either the words are anagrams and I don't recognize, or they're pieces to a bigger puzzle I can't solve no matter how hard that I try. And I really did try. I searched everything on my phone and came up with nothing, and this letter still makes no sense to me. I don't know why Uncle Yates would have stolen money from Boston when he already has plenty of money, but Chief Roberts and Dad seem to think that he did. And I stare at the letter until the list of coded words and Hunt secrets scramble around in my brain, and my head starts to throb. This letter isn't telling me anything. And that's chapter 10.